Your life and everyone's life very much needs to become like a treasure hunt. Here's the treasure. Here's the gold. And your life is about starting from here, because we all start from here. And you need to be finding a way to get to that gold, okay? Because everyone has a different direction to get to that treasure, to get to that gold. Maybe we all get to that gold. Maybe some of us get to that gold, but you need to be chasing a gold, just like a treasure hunt. Now, life is about that. Life is about a treasure hunt. This is the journey of what I call critical thinking. Critical thinking is one of the best learning methods, if not the best learning methods ever. When you talk about some of the greats, Marcus Aurelius, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, all these great teachers of the past taught and believed in critical thinking. It is the best way to grow and develop your brain into deep learning. The ultimate way to learn. Now think about it. Think about this, okay? Life is all about a treasure hunt. This is where the gold is. This is where we all are. And everyone has a different pathway, okay? But as critical thinkers, what do we need to do? We need to start asking the questions. Just like on a treasure hunt, we jump on the journey. We start moving forward. We think this is the best course of actions for me to get to the gold. You want to get on that gold. You want the gold. We all want the gold. Even when people say, I don't want the gold, you want the gold. You want the best possible life that you can get. You want to get to the best version of yourself that you can get. It's all about getting to your best version. Because where your best version is where the gold is. So we jump on this journey. Everyone jumps on some journey. And we start moving forward. And all of a sudden we hit a wall. And all of a sudden we start going back. And then we go further back to where we began. So from where we started, we go further back. Then create our own bias. So I've made a decision to do this, and you've made a decision to do that, and he's made a decision to do that. And so we jump on our roadmap, and so we jump on our cruise, we jump into our adventure, we start going further out, and it may be going that direction, okay, it may be going that direction, or it may go that direction, but then all of a sudden we fail. We have a problem. We have a roadblock. Something bad happens. And two things happen. Two things happen when this happens. Okay, we think, okay, well this is a big problem, we failed, and we go back to the beginning. We think someone else is trying to sabotage us, it's someone else's fault. It's almost always someone else's fault. Remember, every time we don't get above a block, above a hurdle, closer to our treasure hunt, we blame somebody else. Very common. We play the victim. We've been taught to feel like victims. But you're not a victim. You're not a victim, because everywhere you go, there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be problems. Now, why did I bring critical thinking into this? Because once we hit that roadblock, let's assume for one moment we're going backwards. And we think we're going in the right direction. We think I'm heading towards my goal. I'm heading towards the goal, but I'm going that direction. Okay, all of a sudden you hit a problem, but you're going that direction. And then what happens? You have an internal bias because your bias is saying you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to look like a failure. You don't want to look like you have made a mistake in front of your friends and family and brothers and cousins and so on. So then you reinforce it. You get research, you get advisors that reinforce this wrong. Instead of what you should be doing is critical thinking. Now what's critical thinking? What's critical thinking? Very simple. Believe 50% of the journey that you're on and then research the rest. Ask the whys and the hows. Ask why and ask how. So we're on this journey. We hit the problem. Why did I hit this problem? How did I hit this problem? Is it a skill shortage? Is it a knowledge problem? What's the problem? Am I traveling in the right direction? What do I need to do? All these questions we need to answer without bias. Because once we allow bias to dictate our decisions, we then start going the wrong way. Sometimes we make decisions on bias because we may not like someone or because we've had an experience in the past, and because we haven't done the critical thinking exercise. Critical thinking method is all about asking the whys and the hows and taking actions towards finding the treasure. Just when you're trying to find a treasure and you're moving forward and you jump into a clue or you fall down and you're seeking clues, you're asking the whys and the hows. You're seeking evidence. You're asking the whys and the hows about the evidence. Who's giving you the evidence? Why are they giving you the evidence? Do they have a bias? All these questions, the moment you start asking these questions, start researching the stuff and then start actioning the stuff, just like you are a detective trying to find a killer. A detective trying to find a killer, what do? They're seeking, they're researching, they're analysing, they're believing 50% of everything they're hearing. The rest of it, they're assessing and analysing data. They're asking the questions and then they're going again. They stumble, they fall, they assess, they ask why and how. They look at all the information. They sit on top of that information and go, what do I do next? What do I do next, they ask. What do I do next? Write down what you need to do next. And more often than not, when you stumble on problems, because failure and mistakes are your biggest weapons. Failure and mistakes will help you and guide you, because as a critical thinker, you're going to ask why. You're going to ask why and how. Why did I fail? How did I fail? Let's look at the evidence. Where's my bias? Where's their bias? And if I'm going in the wrong direction, that's okay. Because you know what? You failed, you're going in the wrong direction, you've identified your bias. More often than not, people reinforce their bias because they're too embarrassed to turn around. They don't want to do a U-turn, so they're going in the wrong direction and they keep going. They want to emphasize that they're right. You see this a lot in people getting into debates. I love debates when I lose. I actually love debates when I lose. You know why? Because I'm learning. If you beat me in a debate, it means I've learned something new. Why? Because I'm going to go and research it. I'm going to go and ask the whys and the hows. I'm going to go and research what happened in that debate. I'm going to research the evidence that you gave. I'm going to research the person that gave that evidence. I'm going to assess that evidence. And through that process, I've learned something new, which means I have progressed. Don't get upset when you get into a debate with someone, a genuine debate, and you lose. Because it means you have grown and learned. And even when you lose a debate, you go and assess the evidence and you realize, hang on, what they said was not accurate because they left this information. Because more often than not, when people get into a debate, they want to win. They want to be right. And then they present evidence, but they present half the evidence. They don't give you all the evidence. The media does this. The politicians do this. Lots of advertisers do this. They manipulate the evidence to give you what you want to see and hide everything else. And what you need to do as critical thinkers, and what we need to do as a critical thinkers, assess and analyse the data, assess and analyse the information, assess and analyse the person that wrote that information. And when you do that, guess what happens? You're going to have more whys, and you're going to have more hows, more questions, more answers, more research, and what's going to happen? You will start getting closer to your goals. And as you're getting higher and closer to your goal, guess what? As Socrates once famously said, the more I learn, the more I realise what I don't know. Because as you're getting up here, you're going to have different whys and hows, different questions, different evidence, different data. And it's okay to be wrong. But it's more important to learn and to grow and to research and to ask the question. Asking the why and the how and identifying the bias is a fundamental skill that once you learn to do that, you grow and develop. It's so much more important as a critical thinker to listen. Now, listening may sound like an easy skill to do, and it is. But you know what? Think about this. You're listening to someone talk. You may not like what they're saying, but listen to what they're saying. Now, that could be completely wrong in what they're saying. That could be completely bad in what they're saying. But think about it. Ask the question, why are they saying that? What's going on with them? Who are they? How have they formed that opinion? Just start asking those questions yourself. And more often than not, what you're going to discover, there's more depth to what they're saying. Even though what they're saying is wrong, you're learning so much more because you're learning information that you may have not known, even if it's a snippet that allows you to develop a growth. So remember this, even with people that we disagree with, even with people that we might not like and disagree with, there's still so much learning if we can actively listen to what they're saying. And by actively listening, it's not necessarily the words, but it's their body language, it's their actions. What are they saying? How are they looking? Why are they saying this? What's really going on? We're like investigators, because the goal is not to win a debate. The goal is growth and getting closer to your goal. That's the game here. No one cares about winning debates and winning arguments and being the best talker in a discussion. The goal is, how do we progress? How do we learn? How do we grow? Because it's the questions of the whys and the hows that allows us to get excited. Because when we get excited about growth, when we get excited about something new that we learn, that we can then use, because once we learn something new and then we use that information as a skill set to get closer to our goal, we have grown and developed. And the goal is, once you get to that goal, once you find that goal, it's not so much the goal that you will get, like in the treasure hunt. Okay, when you find that treasure, okay, eventually you find that treasure and get the gold. There's two wins here. There's the gold that you've won, but it's also the skill sets that you have gained to get there. Asking the whys, asking the hows, and looking for evidence, thinking about what could, maybe, should, could have done, and avoiding your bias. Because by avoiding your bias, that's when you're going to be able to make those right decisions. Sometimes by avoiding a bias, you cut your losses. And that's okay. We've learned. We turn around. Every single human being, every single one of you have the capacity to do genius type work. Don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do genius type work. Don't let a parent, don't let a friend, don't let a teacher, don't let anyone tell you that you can't do genius type work, because there is something inside you, there is something special, unique, just like your fingerprints, that's different to anyone in the world, that sees things that other people don't. And the difference between someone reaching their potential and someone not is a mentor, is a teacher, is a tutor, is a coach, is a life coach, is a specialist teacher. That's the difference. And unfortunately, most people don't get this opportunity. They don't get the opportunity in their life to have that one mentor. Usually a mentor is a family member or someone that they know or someone that they've met and they know, but really they don't get that right mentor, the right person that's going to help them grow into their best version, because your best version is a genius potential. Your best version is limitless. The best teachers, the best tutors, the best mentors learn about you first. They learn everything they can about you first. The more they learn about you first, the more they work out patterns of how you learn best. And then use those patterns to customize a learning journey that's specifically for you. That's what the best teachers in the world do. So if I'm teaching you maths and I know that you love football, that I can ask you critical thinking questions based on your passion and at the same time teach you maths. That's what the best teachers in the world do. And then bring you to a point where you're so excited about maths that you go home and want to do more maths. The best teachers in the world are able to create excitement. And that excitement leads to what they do when they're out of the class. So when you've got a student out of the class, seeking, rushing, excited to do the work, to do the homework, to chase the learning, the teacher has done an awesome work. The teacher's got to get the student excited. And the way you do that is by understanding the student best, understanding how they learn best, understanding their culture, their idols, their heroes, their passion, their interests, their career goals, their future goals, their personal goals, and their strengths and their weaknesses, and their pace and their style. And it keeps going on. And that's why teachingtutor.ai is the best teacher in the world, because it has 27 deep learning AI models. This is the pinnacle of AI. Pinnacle of AI means 27 deep learning AI models. It's like having 27 different coaches or 27 different specialist teachers, all watching and learning, assessing, analyzing, learning about you. And the moment you use it, it customizes. And I promise you this, I guarantee it. If you use teachingtutor.ai 1 hour a day for 21 days, it will change your life 100%. I guarantee it. That's how certain I am. I also guarantee this. If you're using teachingtutor.ai 1 hour a day as a student at any level, whether you're primary school, high school, university, you will improve your grades. But you have to be using it 1 hour a day, because you'll get excited about the subject, whether it's maths or science or English or geography, whatever subject there is there, all you need to do is upload your homework or upload your own curriculum, and it will start teaching you. But more importantly, it will do what best teachers in the world do, start learning about you first. It's a lifelong teacher. It's a teacher that will never leave you. It's a teacher that will know you better than everyone. And that's why the difference between someone getting to their best self and not is a teacher. And for the first time in the history of the world, you have access to the best AI teacher ever, teachingtutor.ai. Try it now. Try it for free.